to you all, 'cause it's fucking Friday again. We made it. We made it as a team, as a collective unit. All of us arrived once again here, right now, for fucking Friday. We got through another week, team. We got through another week. We made it. And now we're going to chill out because it's weekend. And in the UK, at least, the sun has just arrived, which means I'm going to take my kids to a live monkey sex show tomorrow. They call it a zoo, but we know. We know. We know what it's all about. So hopefully the weather's going to hold. I'm going to be able to do that. Because you should always plan something cool for your weekend. That's right. What are you going to do? Apexis dailies? Bottle pets? No. No. No, mate. No. I'm not going to do that. We're going to have some good fun. We're going to have some good fun. I will say that I mysteriously damaged a nerve in my neck while I was asleep. Try that. I bet you can't. So if I start doing... I can only move to like here. And then it really hurts, like almost ridiculously so. Almost ridiculously so. So, if you see me like looking at the chat like this, like Mr. Roboto, you know what's going on. But I'm sure the pain will go away as we get into the stories. That's generally what happens. I usually start, if I'm really ill and we do a show, I tend to be fine by like 10 minutes in. So that's always pretty good. Because well, you got wonderful people here to make it fucking awesome for me, right? We always have a good time. We chill out. Hopefully, I am treating myself to a monster. I'm treating myself to a monster because I have a big night ahead of me, because I've got lots of videos to make, because I've given up on not speculating about Legion. I can't hold back anymore. My idea box, my thinker, is going... I can't take a shit anymore without just like thinking of stuff. So, fuck it. We're going to talk about it because BlizzCon's coming. So maybe we'll get some stuff right. Maybe we'll see what's going on. Why not? So hopefully all you wonderful people are doing that. I would like to point out, you guys have killed my email. I must have, I'm not joking, like 1,000 transmog? 1,000 transmogs that have been sent to me? Although, 10% of you, 10% have sent it to the wrong email address. I don't even know how you did that. Like, there's 3 videos about the transmog competition. And they all have like the legendary address said. They're in the chat on the screen. And it's in the description of the video. I could understand if you watch it on TV, but I said it. It's preachgaming@gmail. We're going to use the Gmail account. preachgaming@gmail.com. So... I'm not angry. I just don't want you to miss out because you're sending it to the wrong email. So if you didn't send it to preachgaming@gmail.com and you didn't put XMOG, 4 letters, as the subject, I'm not going to get it, man. I've got 1,000 of them. It's not happening. It's not happening. So I'm just letting you know. I want you to be in the competition. I want you to be in the competition. So just check yourself. I've got 3 stories in front of me. 3 stories of just glorious measure. We're going to take it a little bit in the newbie. And we're also going to keep it current affairs because South Park did one of their funniest episodes ever. So we're going to start with the Raging Canadian. The Raging Canadian buddy guy. There's nothing better than when I get to whip out my Canadian accent. Right, I need a GM. I need a co-GM. I need a Paladin. I need a GM's brother. Oh my god, this is bound to be 10, man. And I need a Canadian. He's a Warlock. How can you say Caitlyn Jenner's not a hero? You PC, bro? You PC? Not here. You're on the wrong show if you're a PC, bro. Right, what? I don't know what class the GM is, so I'm going to go with Kickbutt. Kickbutt. Don't know what class the co-GM is, so we'll go with Green Jesus. Oh, Green Jesus. Green Jesus. Apala will be pink. Who's pink? Pinky, pinky, pinky. Pandora. The GM's brother. He's only mentioned like twice, so we'll go with Genoto. He's been in plenty of stories in the past and won't mind. Oh! I'm missing somebody, and I know. Where are you? You're not in the chat. Okay. That's okay then. I know I owe somebody a name in a story. Maybe he'll turn up halfway through. Who's purple? Big Lung. Big Lung. I'll know your name when I see it. I'll know his name when I see it. That's the names. That's it. It's all done. All done and dusted. All done and dusted. Okay. The Raging. There you are. I know you are. Inagami. I'll get you in the next story. Doosh. I got you. I spotted you. I spotted you. I know you were out there. I couldn't see it. Yeah, it's me. I know. I got you. I've written it down. We'll get you in the next story. Okay. The Raging Canadian. The Raging Canadian. Hey Preacher, been a big fan of your channel since mid-catter and following ever since. What I have for you today is a tale of how one asshole and one heroic fight broke up the up-and-coming raiders of our guild, which were once known as Platinum in LOL. Up-and-coming. Platinum in LOL. Boom. I started... None of you play League of Legends, right, in this guild? Like, one of you, the GM probably. The GM plays League of Legends, Platinum in LOL. I started playing back in late BC, early Wrath of the Lich King, as an absolute huntard with a friend of mine from middle school. During the time, or Wrath, I switched over to a Protection Paladin. And continued to play him as main spec prot, off spec ret. No holy for me. All the way through Kata, along with my newly geared Blood Unholy DK. During the beginning of the Firelands patch one day, I went to my character's mailbox. Tired with the game. Nothing for me to do. Everybody was raiding, but I never had a solid group to raid with. This was actually the day I was going to quit the game. That was until I saw a post in trade chat looking for raiders. You ready to get excited, team? This is the dream we all hope to one day see in our trade chat. This is the group you should join. I saw a post in trade chat looking for raiders to start Firelands who had no raiding experience. Yeah. That's cool. But I would never post that. I think that's cool. It's okay to say, look, it's like, how much hype, how much hate, I should say. How much hate is there because of the seemingly enormous item level requirements that people ask for in something like the pre-made group finder, right? And everybody wants, nay, dreams. And they post to the forums. They won't make their own group. That would be insanity. They won't make friends. Also insanity. What they will do is complain on the forums like, why can't I get into a group that requires absolutely no raiding experience? That sounds like the dream, doesn't it? Sign me up. Whisper that man. Whisper that man. What a good day. It almost sounded too good to be true. I messaged the guild leader, Kickbutt. He was incredibly helpful and friendly to me. He immediately invited me to the guild. And asked me to join him in doing a Firelands trash run. Do you remember when they had to nerf the trash because it was dropping too many epics? I think Hunters could solo it, right? Hunters could solo it and were just making thousands and thousands of gold because of all the trash epics in the Firelands. So good. I hopped into event and off we went. From there, though, things were great. We had massed a solid raid group who progressed through Firelands normal 10-man. In the group was Kickbutt, the guild master. Green Jesus, a soft-spoken guy, a bit older than myself. Junoto, the brother of Kickbutt, who was a really funny member of the team. And then there was Big Lung, a Canadian with an I don't take shit from anyone attitude. Now, unlike the rest of the members, Big Lung was very blunt about how we should progress. Whether it be to changing tunes, specs, or even re-rolling. Being as Big Lung was an officer, along with Kickbutt and Green Jesus, he had every right to call us out. But his attitude never sat well with me. Especially because he was, and I quote, that guy who keeps telling you he really doesn't care, but gets completely insanely full of rage when things go wrong. I don't care. I don't care if we wipe all night. I'm here for fun. Let's have a fun raid, everybody. No, let's have a fun raid, eh? Let's go in there, eh, and kick some ass, you hosers. I don't care. And then goes fucking ballistic when you fucking die to Morchok and his fucking slappy hand split up guy. We all know that guy. We all know that fucking guy. I don't care. I don't care. It's going to be a fun raid. It's going to be a fun raid. Unlike the rest of the members, though, Big Lung was very blunt about how we should be doing things. It was the worst. He was a huge rager. This persisted all the way through Fireland's normal progression. As I played Prot and Ret depending on the fight, Big Lung had always something to say. Whether it was my swaps, my DPS, although I was still in the top 3, more often than not. It bugged me from time to time, but I never bothered to say anything because, hey, we were progressing and he was an officer. Can't talk bad about officers and guilds, guys. They're protected, right? They are above you, you subhuman scum. Are you an officer or are you a member? You know what you are as a member? Replaceable. That's what you are. Officers go through hell for you and you don't even know about it. You swamp rats. Every single one of you is a member, including me. Swamp rats. Swamp rats. You know what I mean? Every single one of you. Don't say anything against an officer. He's been clicked up by an arrow. In-game. Yeah. In-game. Clicked up. Eventually we came to Ragnaros. Ragnaros normal. We spent weeks wiping to Ragnaros normal. Eventually bringing in a new healer called Pandora. And having to gear him up for the fight. Then came Monday. The one night we had designated for Ragnaros attempts. On this particular Monday, I had left my mouse at my mother's house and was forced to play using my keyboard and laptop trackpad. I'll just remove you from the fucking raid. No. Nope. Nope. Nobody's in my raid. Nobody is using a laptop trackpad to play this game. No, I'm not raiding with you. No, I'm not doing it. I don't care how good you are. I'm not doing it. I'm not having you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But then again, you are a Ret Pally. So one does beg the question, does one need a mouse at that point? Does one need a mouse when playing a Ret Paladin? During Cataclysm, this is Firelands we're talking about. Not now, where it's very complex to play. Back then, right? Back then. Needless to say, it was the most painful raiding experience I've ever had. I told my raid this. Why? Why? Why did you tell anybody? Hey guys, I'm playing with a trackpad tonight. Okay. Well, allow me to not invite you using my mouse. Using my mouse, what do I can do? Right click, remove. See what I can do? It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. What keybinds have you got on your trackpad though? Have you bound anything to your trackpad? Just asking. Just checking. Just checking. Knowing this, Kickbot Pandora continued to crack jokes with me to keep the spirits high about a possible Ragnaros normal kill. It had been a few weeks of us one-shotting the rest of the normal raid, but hopes were high. Sadly, Big Lung didn't take too kindly to our childish attitudes, as he called it. As the night went on, the wipes were closer. 5%, 3%, 1% wipe, until finally, the Fire Lord fell. The nerd screams at 1 AM were louder than I ever imagined. Ventrilo lit up with people's mics, turning on, shouting for glory. Everybody but Big Lung. When it went quiet. When it went quiet. You know that moment? It dies off. You know what I mean? You've all been there. Hopefully you've all been there for the nerd screams. When it went quiet. Big Lung piped up and said we should have done this boss weeks ago. Fucking cunt. Cunt. You fucking cunt. Whoever said that, you were a cunt. You're an absolute... Oh, you all enjoying yourselves? You should have done it fucking ages ago. I'm glad you're all enjoying yourselves, but seriously. Think you're good? You're not. Think you're good? You're not. Stop enjoying yourselves, every one of you. Stop. Stop enjoying yourselves. Now. Dickheads. Big Long was complaining about the boss kill. Not paying him too much attention, I went to sleep that night with a smile on my face and an achievement in my book. Later during Kata, we had heard, of course, about the Dragon Soul. Not a favourite amongst many, but still dear to my heart as one of the most interesting raiding experiences of my time in WoW. Wow. Excitement beckons, the Dragon Soul. All of my guildies were pumped. Kickbot and I were already looking into boss strats. Others were preparing professions on their other tunes and readying themselves for the cesspool of shit that was to be LFR. To get the gear, who would get the bonuses, and then jump straight into normal mode. This would be the first time I would be jumping into the raiding race. And we were going to be doing heroic progression with a full competent team of some of the best players on the server. The day of Dragon Soul's release. I remember it well. Multiple LFR runs for people. What a good time that was. Lest we forget, multiple LFR runs for tank tier set bonuses. The Dragon Soul, never forget. Stay strong, people. Stay strong. On the day of the Dragon Soul's release, I left school early. Told them I was sick. Baller. And jumped on. Kickbutt, Green Jesus, Pandora, Genoto, and of course Big Lung, and some others were all ready to go. With only 8 people, we attempted normal Morchok. We got into 5% with high spirits and other guildie logged on, joining our 8-man team, and we got Realm First, World 33rd normal Morchok. Yeah? Fuck yous. Fuck you all who were mocking this guy for asking for non-experienced raiders. And look where they are today. Look where they are with that World 33rd normal Morchok. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Fuckers. Server first, bitches. It was smooth sailing from there. Our guild steadily maintaining 3 raid nights. While always placing in the top 10 on the server, we achieved many more top 20 kills. Heroic progression though. That heroic progression. That's when we started to hit the wall. It's no normal Morchok from here. It's heroic Morchok now. Yeah? Shit's getting real. 2 Morchoks? 2 Morchoks? At once? But how? It started to put a damper on our team. Kickbutt was battening down the hatches and making sure we were all min-maxed to perfection, doing everything in his power as GM to keep us in tip-top shape. Now with the Dragon Soul patch, we understood that Warlocks were easily, aside from Rogues with the Legendary Daggers, the highest damage dealers a raid could ask for. I want to dispute that because I don't think that's true. Was it? I say that as a Warlock who played during Dragon Soul, but I was kind of undergeared. I mean, I was against Sparkugs with a legendary staff. I didn't have one. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm against Sparko without a legendary staff. So, but yeah, Moonkids and shit were pretty good. There was lots of good classes there, lots of good classes. But Warlocks were pretty high. I don't think that's a problem. Warlocks were pretty high, but not like miles away. Not like miles and miles away. But remember, oh, Arms Warriors were good. Yeah, good call. But who was the only Warlock on our raid team, you might ask? It was, of course, Big Lung. Hey, hey, you hosers. Hey, you Warlock, huh? Me being on my DK, I wasn't bothered by passing all the tier gear onto Big Lung. If giving more tier slots and such to Big Lung meant more progress, remember guys, for the good of the raid, I can't give a damn. So we went on to fight more heroic bosses, each testing our patience more and more. Before I get there, Which boss was the stumbling block? We're going to come up to a stumbling block. Dragon Soul Heroic. Which one? If giving more tier slots as such to Big Lung meant progressing, I couldn't give a shit. So we went on to fight more heroic bosses, each testing our patience more and more every week. The once lowly geared Holy Pally, Pandora, who helped us with Ragnaros, had become a good friend of mine. Every time we logged on, we would do dailies, shoot shit, and try to keep the raiding environment, invent a fun place to be. Spine. I don't think any of you are going to get it. Oh, Jackie Boy. Well played, Jackie Boy. Well played, Jackie Boy. Keep the raiding environment, invent a fun place to be. Raiding in and of itself is fun, but it could get very stressful during progression. So we tried to keep spirits high through bullshitting, signing, cracking jokes, and all that stuff during trash and in between boss wipes as to not inhibit our ability to progress. More and more, though, it became apparent that Big Lung was not very happy about me being happy during trash. Hey, guy, this is trash. This is trash, guy, buddy. Stop being so happy. Stop being happy during trash, you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot with your shitty kill on Ragnaros. Fuck you, guy. The more and more Pandora and I tried to keep everybody laughing, Big Lung would remind us that this is a progress raid. And our fooling around was slowing us down. Progress raid. Stop enjoying yourselves. Stop it. As you can imagine, not everybody in the raid was on board with him. But being that he was an officer, they had no chance but just silently agreed. Eventually, we came to a heroic War Master Blackhorn. How is this fight a problem if you've killed everything else? I can't think of why it would be a problem. But why? Why? This was the real deal. Zonos' ping-pong tentacle games were quite a mess. Hagara's icy paths and crazy damage kept us stuck for far longer than I'd like to say. But Heroic Boat was a different animal. So many nights were spent going over designated raid time to put in just a few more attempts, only to crash and burn with the boat many more times. With spirits low, I decided that with Pandora at my side, we would keep everybody excited by betting, gambling, cracking jokes and playing little games between wipes to make sure that everybody was motivated to get this kill as I were. On this particular Thursday, that Thursday, I had logged in and begun to do some profession dailies when I noticed that Kickbutt was promoting people to raid team positions and such, something he'd slacked on for a while. The one thing that caught my eye, that he promoted me to guild officer. I wasn't sure why. We hadn't even spoke about it, but I was glad to finally be recognised as a core part of the guild. Oh, poor you. Poor you. poor you. Not knowing I was online, the officers began to gossip. It was the first time I'd seen that wondrous green chat. Officer chat was nothing like I'd imagined. As soon as I joined, I saw that Big Lung was ranting about our lack of progress on Heroic Boat. So many attempts and only a few had gone well enough for Blackhorn to even drop to the ship. Blackhorn, I think you mean. War Master Blackhorn? I think that's his name. I can see why he'd be mixed up though. Kickbutt reminded him that we were trying our best to make worthwhile strategies. He even mentioned that Big Lung's Warlock was now at 403 item level. Very high for the time, as we had invested countless upgrades to him in order to help us push through this tier. It was not long before Big Lung had noticed that I had been promoted, but failed to recognise that I was logged in. Big Lung started to rant in officer chat. Started to shout at Green Jesus and Kickbutt, asking why that fucking dumb kid, why is that dumb kid, eh? Why that dumb kid, eh? Has been promoted to an officer. And that I wasn't all that deserving of that rank due to the excessive bullshit that Pandora and I put them through during raid nights. One of the worst things I ever did. Hey! I say me. It was actually a conversation with my guild master who... We had a tank channel. Right? Because we were both tanks. And the guild master was a tank. So I was... we were in a conversation where he... Actually, I'm absolved of this crime. Although I did agree with him, so technically not. Started really giving out shit about one of the healers. A paladin, because every time he's in the raid he caused problems. Yeah, that guy totally snuck into the tank channel and voiced his opinion right there and then. Was kicked from the guild though, so it kind of worked out right. Shouldn't sneak into channels you're not welcoming, right? People say things when they're angry. You shouldn't be in there. Don't take it personally though. Don't get all mad about it. Kickbutt, obviously confused as to his anger, then realised that he had promoted me to an officer by completely accident. It was then that I realised how shitty Big Lung really was. I tried my best to empower our raid team. I spent time looking up strategies, finding new ways to reforge and gem, and everything else in order to push us past this nightmare of a fight. And all the while having this rager Canadian shithead talking to my guild master and co-guild master in officer chat about me. Kickbutt quickly demoted me, seeing that I was online and realising that, of course, Big Lung had been found out. Later that night, we all logged in. Headsets on. Snacks at hand. Flask drank. Buffs up. Feast eaten. Prepared once again to attempt to take down that big ugly Tauren who had so long been making the ship, along with our hopes and dreams, crash and burn over and over and over. With his new knowledge of Big Lung in mind, I decided I would really try to push myself tonight to prove him wrong. I would tank like I never tanked before. I would make calls, set up marks, create raid warning macros, and everything else in my power to prove to him and everyone else that I was just as serious about progression as any of us were. Soon into the night, though, people began dying to airstrikes and fire very quickly. This was actually unusual, as we'd been able to work around soaking airstrikes and other such things with ease in the past. Those weren't why we were wiping. Within a few more attempts, Kickbutt began to analyse what we were doing wrong. On the most recent attempt, he noticed that Big Lung was now number 6 on the damage meters of our 10-man. He was our highest geared player and a warlock. He should never have been below number 3 at his worst. He rarely ever did. Kickbutt decided to give another attempt, thinking that maybe he was just off his game during that attempt. We started again. Gave it a shot. Boom! Another wipe. Again. Big Lung was 6th. He was also the very first to die. Kickbutt was getting a little pissed. Kickbutt cut out event. Big Lung, dude, what the fuck? Why the fuck is your damage? And why are you dying to bullshit mechanics? No response. Big Lung, still nothing. Kickbutt made a raid warning and started spamming it, telling Big Lung to respond. Eventually, Big Lung responded saying, "What, you hoser?" Kickbutt was fuming. Why the fuck aren't you responding to me on vent? And why aren't you doing damage worth a shit? Big Lung responded, "Oh, I've muted you." I can't do it. "Oh, I've muted you, eh? Because some children in our guild don't know how to shut the fuck up, oh? And just play. So I decided to listen to music instead." My jaw dropped. Kickbutt was about to explode. We had come so far. We had put so much gear into this guy. And now he felt like he didn't give a shit about all of us. He not only liked to gossip with an officer chat, but even went as far as to tell us that he mutes us during our attempts on progress. Kickbutt did what had to be done. I have never seen someone kick from a guild so quickly. And to this day, Pandora, Green Jesus, Kickbutt and I are still friends and all came back to WoW together after a long break following, of course, Siege of Fail. And that is my story of how one underskilled shipbrain raging lock broke up the guild of raiders. Oh, music. Well, on progress, maybe. You should listen to Vent, right? You should fucking listen to Vent, you bastards. I listen to music while I'm raiding, but I still hear Vent sometimes. I'm not joking. My guild master's voice. Dutch, you know. Oh, good. What a fucker. Right. Okay. Let's... I like Siege of Ogma as well. For a while. It was pretty good. Let's go to an RP realm. Let's go to an RP realm. Let's do it. Right. I'll pick the names as we go through it. Ha! Racist. 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 Way to insult the Dutch. I know, right? Everyone gonna leave? Oh, the Dutchies are out. I'm out! I'm out! Disturbed on Way Too Loud, Linkin Park. What's the best raiding music? I'll do a guide on raiding music. It's literally Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Disturbed, Soulfly, Papa Roach, Rage Against the Machine, Metallica's Saint Anger album. These are all the things you should be picking. These are all this is your rating music, and that's what it should be. That's what it should be. Alright then. All up Preacher and you lovely viewers. I'd wanted to go Drama Fridays for a long time. I finally manned up to share the world my drama story. It's a newbie story. Mudvayne. Soil. Ah, my little halo. Yeah, Soil. Awesome. Let's start with my newbie story. I started out in vanilla, but today, I can't say that I played WoW during that time. I sucked. My friends at school were playing this awesome new game, and to clarify, they were playing outdoors, in the woods, not behind a computer. WoW had not yet been released, and we were very, very young. I joined in with them without having a fucking clue what WoW was, but then WoW was released. I begged my mum to buy it for me, and she denied me. But I was a stubborn kid, very stubborn, and I refused to take no for an answer. I was also very handy with a lawnmower, got skills. My neighbours hired me to do their gardens, cut their grass, and clean parts of their homes. Skills to pay the bills. I earned up the money and bought WoW. It looked amazeball. I logged in and had to choose a realm. Didn't know what a realm was. I asked for the suggested realms. You guys ever clicked? Suggested realm puts you on the most backwater fucking half-ass shit in the world. It's like, go to this low pop RP PvP realm. It's awesome, man. You want to go there? You want to go there? It's fucking well good. I asked Blizz for a suggestion because I had heard from my friends that PvP meant that players would kill you constantly. I was scared of it. So I clicked that away. PvE sounded almost like PvP, so I clicked that option off as well. That meant that I was suggested for an RP realm. Well, I can't go I don't want to do PvP. Scary. PvE sounds like PvP. Not going there either. RP doesn't sound anything like PvP. So I'm going to do that, mate. Gonna do that, mate. Easy. I can't remember the name of the realm, but I remember being so hyped when making my first character. And I did. I made a troll rogue. After playing to level 5... I realised I looked like shit. This is the story. This is the story. It's not me. I'm not saying it. I like troll rogues, actually. Trolls were ugly, and the hit animation with weapons looked like an old man trying to poke something with a stick. So I deleted my troll and said fuck the horde, because they're ugly. I made myself a dwarf hunter. Because in the cinematic, there was a dwarf hunter. And he looked so cool with his bear. Beating the shit out of a Tauren. Leveling came naturally to me. I was dedicated to hunters, and I never made a single ult. I leveled to 60 in 9 days played, which was pretty good. But some shit happened along the way. Since it was an RP server, not that I knew what it meant, occasionally people around me were talking in /S. And they were all fucking weird. When I was going to turn in a quest in Stormwind Cathedral, I saw a couple of paladins standing and talking in /S. The conversation went something like this. Good evening, Sir Goldwire. Good evening, Master Clocking. I see you have returned from your patrol duties. Tell me, how did it go? Some horde tried to invade on some citizen's business, but with the light by my side, I chased them away. Wonderful work, Sir Goldwire. Wonderful work. During this, I stood next to them, looking. I didn't get what they were on about. I had leveled to 40 and never got a quest when I patrolled an area. Where do you get patrol quests? All I did was gather crap, kill mobs. I thought for myself, maybe I could ask them how I unlock the patrol quests. I whispered one of the paladins, "Excuse me, sir. Could you show me how to patrol?" After a few minutes, he answered, "Sorry, son. You must be part of the Holy Order, and you are not a paladin." My initial thought, of course, that paladins could only be the ones to do patrol quests. Makes sense. But he soon sent me another whisper. By the way, if you want to join as a food farmer, our order needs food for our nightly feast, and as a hunter, you could hunt as meat. That is, if you would like to join. I accepted, thinking that as a hunter, my class quests were hunting food. Paladins patrol. Hunters gather food. Fucking makes... When you think about it, it's plainly obvious. And I don't even know what I was thinking. Why would a hunter patrol? That doesn't even make sense. Sorry. My bad. Now, during all my time as leveling, when someone had come up to me trying to RP, I had just done /ignore them. I had heard about child predators and wanted nothing to do with these creeps who kept approaching me with strange things to say. That's right. Look at all these fucking weirdos, man. Predators everywhere. That's true. What they say about the internet. Everywhere I go, there's freaks walking up to me. I'm serious. You wouldn't even believe it. It's just a paedophile bonanza. It's literally as they made it out on the internet. It's like Fox News was correct. I know. But that's what's going on. That's what's going down. I actually had no idea I was even joining an RP guild. I thought gathering food was a hunter quest and that I would be rewarded with XP and other things, because that's what I had done all the way through. After a few days, one of the guild members started to explain what RP was. I then started to remove people from my ignore list, realizing that they were just playing the game. Oh, so you're not trying to fuck my ass then? Well, I was. I was. But everyone else is fine. Everyone else is fine. I really started to like the guild. There was a lot of members and everyone was RPing. Even though I didn't really like it, I did really like to RP with a certain member. She was called Inagami. Inagami was worth the RP. She was a girl and a really nice person. She would often whisper me, OOC. That's out of character for you newbies out there. Just to ask how I was doing and stuff. I leveled up quickly and soon was level 60. So she and I were doing some dungeons together. We did Strath, Sholomance, and even UBRS. Now I don't want to bore you, so I'll just skip to the big drama. Me, Inagami, and a couple of others were doing Strat Undead. For you who don't know, Strat Undead was the one with the Baron. Back in the day, there was a legend, a myth. Something so rare that most people didn't believe it actually existed, including myself. It was called Rivendare's Charger. During vanilla, this mount had a 0.001% drop chance. Before it was buffed in Wrath of the Lich King to 1%. Most people never saw Rivendare's Charger during their whole vanilla life. Not even someone sitting on it or anything. Me and the others were those who genuinely didn't think the mount existed, because no one on our server had it. We had run Strath around 10 times when the impossible happened. It dropped. We were choked. It was true. The mount existed. Immediately we lost our shit, and then we all went silent. We remembered that only one of us would leave the instance with the mount, and it would be very possibly the only time in history any of us would see it drop. So the argument started. First was our guild leader. Hog Bobson. Our guild leader, Hog Bobson, who started out with, "But I am your commander. You are just lonely squires, food gatherers and knights. I should claim this unholy steed and use it against the scourge." At this point, though, the rest of us went, "Fuck you." Fuck you. Fuck your GM title. This is not an RP thing. Nope. No, 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 no. I don't think so, Hog Bobson. I don't think so, Hog Bobson. Take your RP and put it over there. Alright? Fuck off. Fuck off. Hog Bobson started kicking people from the guild. Although it didn't matter. I feel like I should interject here that I was kicked from... I was kicked from a Kazakh raid about... before my son was born. So, probably about 2 months ago. Why? Both tanks died. I was third on aggro. I tanked it for ages, right? On my warrior. I tanked it for fucking ages as Fury. And then I died. And then the guy kicked me for not releasing. And he was on about 40%. Doesn't matter. The loot's still there. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter. So, yeah. Just doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Whatever. Anyway. Instantly, Hogs Bobson started kicking us. Didn't matter to me, though. That loot window was still on my screen. The raid leader said he was going to kick us if we didn't all release. Oh no. Oh no. That loot screen was still on my screen. Time was running out though. And of course, all of us rolled need. I won it. I received so many angry whispers, mails, threats of all kinds. I didn't care. I really didn't. I had the mount and they would be jelly. Inagami was cool with it. Her role-playing was as a holy knight, and having an unholy mount would just look stupid. Everywhere I went now, people would look at me with envy. I walked around, didn't run, walked. With my mount. People were impressed. This mount got me invited to the server's only real raiding guild. A mount did that. Playing with these new pros, though, in my eyes, made me nervous. I was still around 10 years old, and people kept asking me to join Vent. Every time I said yes, while sitting clueless as to what Vent was. One raid night, the raid leader asked me in whisper, "Are you in Vent?" I replied, "No, lol." And that, what is this face? Can you guys tell me what this is called? I don't even know. It's the S face, that one. That one. What is that? What is that? I don't even know. I went, "No, lol, S face." No, lol, S face. He then asked why. I said, "I don't know what Vent is." He then explained it to me and I downloaded it. In Vent, everyone was a grown-up. Their dark voices intimidated me and fascinated me at the same time. I'd always wanted to raid and this was the only place to go. They were professionals. To me. When I joined the channel, "Hey, the Rivendare guy just joined Vent," one of them cheered. Several of them asked me to talk. So I said I didn't have a mic, because I was embarrassed of my voice. A nice guy asked me in whisper if he could try my account, because he wanted to try riding the mount. I said sure, wanted to impress the guild. I waited an hour, and then I logged back into my account, finding my character deleted, and a new char made called Get FKED. I was upset. I had no idea what had happened. Confused and angry, I logged into Get FKED and whispered the guy who I'd lent my account to and asked what was going on. He replied smugly, "Next time you steal a mount, don't show it off as an asshole." I later found out that guy was in fact friends with the RP guildmaster, Hog Bosun, and that his whole guild had set this up to make me pay. I cried and logged off. I didn't play again until Wrath of the Lich King. Moral of the story, none. People suck, and don't give your account info away. Today I raid happily though, and again got my Rivendare along with my 290 other mounts. Thinking back on how naive I am, I was. I'm glad not to be as ignorant anymore. Thank you for reading my story. First time I write one, and I'm kind about it. Take care. From Team Swee. Team Swee! Team Swee. Excellent. Hog Bobson, you bastard. You bastard, Hog Bobson. Why did you do it, Hog Bobson? Why? Why? Why, Hog Bobson? Right, what time is it? We've got 15 minutes. This is kind of a long story. We're gonna have to go. Oh no, it's okay. Oh, so sad. Yeah, it is sad. People are dicks. People are dicks. Unfortunately, people are dicks. And that is the sad day. Yeah, what a bunch of cunts. Absolutely. Totally agree with you 100%. But still, don't give your account info away. Do you know what it's written on my son's birth certificate? Don't give your account info away. Just don't do it. It was Rivendare's mount, says Hog Bobson. I deserved it. I needed it. I wanted it in my life. So bad. So bad. All right then. Let's go. We're going to Australia. Okay. No names of this. Oh, we need a friend. Okay, we'll pick a friend. There's a friend. I don't think he's in very long, so we'll pick a friend. Damn it, Hog Bobson. Damn it, Hog Bobson. You bastard. Okay. Who's a friend? Let's have a swig. Let people catch up. We'll go with Brant. You will do nicely. That's it, I believe. Okay. Oh, balls, what's going on? Team Australia here. One for you, Team Australia. After being a loyal viewer of the Drama Time, I decided to write my initial experiences on WoW back when I started playing at the end of Wrath. I was 15! This is a story about my great noobishness and the trials and tribulations that came with it. I hope you and the audience enjoy this one. I'm sure we will. A friend of mine got me into WoW. All I can think of every time we say this line is that he got abandoned immediately. It's just like, oh, right. Come play WoW with me. Abandoned. Abandoned. He said it was to be fun. He said that there's plenty of great people to hang around with and raid. He said it would be the best game of all time. He said. He said. He said. I was always fascinated when he talked about his raiding experiences. So I wanted to make a hunter, as they look cool. And they didn't need to heal. I thought healing was for bitches and sandwich makers. Just to note, I went on to be a raid healer for a long time. That's what it says here in brackets. However, my friend Brant insisted that I make a mage. He said mages are always good. Always good. And so I made an undead male mage. The leveling experience was really rocky as I never played anything like WoW before and was previously very involved in competitive FPSR games. FPSR. Yes, go mate, trading those knives. I had no idea what the spell book was. Or that I had to cast spells. I kept trying to click on the mobs, but no spells would cast. All I knew is that I had a staff. So I went around hitting mobs with my staff. It did shit damage, and I thought the mage was crap as I kept on dying. Dying for the first time I remember so well. It was one of the biggest shocks in my WoW life. As it appeared on my screen, release spirit. I didn't want to release spirit, as I thought once it released, it won't come back, and my character will be spiritless and dead. It was quite a dilemma. So the first time that I died, I remember logging off and calling Brant for advice on what I have to do. How do I cope with this? I was ensured releasing spirit is necessary, and I simply should just have to run back to my body, and doing it for the first time was so beautiful and spooky as the world went black and white. It was creepy. I bet many of you can't remember the first time you died, right? Or maybe you do. I do. I remember dying in, I don't know the name of the place. Where Darnassus is. Where the elves start. I was an elf. Fuck all you guys. I was an elf hunter. Whatever. Whatever. It was early in his alpha, man. And then it all went black and white, and I was a wisp. I was a wisp, for fuck's sake. What the hell do I do as this wisp? I saw the arrow on the map, I was off. Yeah, it was pretty spooky. You can remember it. It was pretty fucking weird the first time you died. I was like, whoosh. It's got all that weird music and shit. You're like, what the fuck? Okay. As I got to level 20 while casting spells, which took me about 3 weeks to level 20, without the guidance of Brant. Brant said he will be transferring to another server and wanted me to come with him. It traumatized me. I felt so hard done by. It had taken me 3 weeks to reach level 20, and to abandon all that work, to abandon all that effort, the character I had been through so much with, to make a new one seemed harsh. I also couldn't transfer, as my parents were already not exactly happy about me playing a subscription game, and certainly wouldn't pay for a transfer. I've got to transfer my level 20 character. Dude, I need money. What am I going to do? Re-level? So I clicked on the new server with my new undead mage in the Tirisfal Glades, starting fresh again. However, this time, Brant will help me out. Brant will be there for me. He will give me tips and aid me. And so Brant was guiding me through the Tirisfal Glades. He did give me tips. One of those tips that Brant gave me was that I needed a new staff. I could buy it from the vendor in Tirisfal Glades. So I went to the vendor. He stopped me just before. He said that sometimes vendors sell it for cheaper if you yell, "Can I have it for cheaper?" ? Spelt correctly. So I thought, that sounds really good. I yelled in /Y, "Can I have it for cheaper?" I spammed it for half a minute, but the vendor did not respond. I felt really disappointed that the vendor was so ignorant, as the staff would take nearly all my money. But he would not give me a discount. Brant was pissing himself laughing and had no idea what was going on. And I had no idea what was going on. So eventually I gave up trying to get the discount and bought the staff at full price. It took me about a month to realise that NPCs didn't give discounts if you yell, "Can I have it for cheaper?" I tried multiple vendors all the way through the land until I realised that I had been tricked. I would love to find a newbie to bring to the game. I do have kids, so who knows. After leveling to 20 and a bit at the Barrens, I decided to go to the Eastern Kingdoms and level there instead of Kalimdor. So I got on a blimp and went back to Tirisfal Glades. I wasn't aware that there was another blimp that went to Stranglethorn Vale, which is where I wanted to go. So I decided that I must swim. It seemed the safest path, as I often died travelling through roads on other zones. So I would swim for the Tirisfal Glades to Stranglethorn Vale along the western coast. The journey was not swift. The journey was not easy, but it was an adventure to behold. It took me roughly 2 hours to swim from Tirisfal Glades to Stranglethorn Vale. It included many deaths due to fatigue, since I had no clue what it was and kept going as the bar wore down. I also encountered a fishing demon who had a skull monster icon on the place of his level number and a fishing pole in hand. I had no idea what this meant, but I decided that I should hit it anyway. I got one shot and tried again many times until I gave up. I later found out that this was, of course, by Brant's information, another player who was just fishing. So you're fishing, right? So you're fishing. You're chilling there. You're watching Netflix. You're watching YouTube, right? You're listening to Drama Time. You got your fish on. Got your fish on. You're watching some Twitch. You're doing whatever you're doing. And this level 20 comes swimming by. Just goes swimming along. Slowly. It's like swimming along. And you're like... And then starts attacking you. I'm calling you a demon! White devil, white devil! White devil, white devil! Right? Die! Die! You're like, dude, fuck off. I'm trying to... Fishing sucks! Stop disturbing my fishing, you fucking a-hole. What a dick. I would probably have moved. I would probably have moved. Seriously, like, dude, I'm just trying to fish. And... it was all so fascinating to me, though. I had no knowledge of what a mount is, nor the gold for it. So I was running everywhere on foot, or swimming, until I was level 40. It took me a jolly 4 or so months to reach level 80. And when I got there, my mind was blown. Once again, people were advertising. Oh, my mind was blown once again. People were advertising for ICC 10 Heroic in trade. And they needed a mage. I always whispered people eagerly and told them that I was a mage and I've done heroic dungeons and therefore met their requirements. I'll have you know, motherfucker, I have a heroic violet hold under my belt. Invite me to your heroic. Bring me along. You need a mage and you need someone with heroic experience. I am your man. I have done everything you asked for. So let's get this shit on the road. Easy. They always laughed at me. They also asked me for gear score. I had no clue what gear score was. And when it disappeared at the start of Kata, I was relieved. But now I see that item level simply replaced it. Unfortunately, because of my gear score, I never raided in Wrath. Oh, fucking gear score. No Nax Framis for you. TOC 5, man. Get your joust done. That's all you're going to get. Oh, wait, no. There was 3 ICC dungeons, right? You could go in there. Pit of Sauron. That's a lot of fun. Pit of Sauron's fun. It's not at all annoying when everybody wipes going up that fucking cliff and you got to stand at the top going, everybody ready? Everybody mount up. We're going up the hill. Pit of Sauron. So hard. Gotta get up the hill. You ready, everybody? No, someone was AFK. Oh my god, now I'm gonna die. How's he gonna get up there? Halls of Reflection. The Lich King's coming. Everybody hide behind the wall. Everybody hide behind the wall. We've got to use we've got a technique for for Halls of Reflection. It's called hiding, because we can't trust anybody to interrupt at range or anything like that. So we're just gonna stand here in the corner. It's all pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good dungeon. Oh, I feel so sad. I was a big noob for the first tier of Kata and always admired people that had heroic raid gear, or even epics. Too bad we can't appreciate anymore. Oh, well, Kata? Yeah. Wrath? Remember, epics were rare in Wrath. You needed badges. Epics dropped at the end of heroic dungeons, I'm pretty sure. But still, epics were epics in Wrath. Epics were epics. But by the time tier 12, the Firelands rolled about, I had become an elitist. From tier 13 onwards, the Dragon Soul, I was clearing heroic, mythic, every tier. It's funny to look back on how much of a noob I was, and how quickly I've improved. I hope you and the audience have enjoyed my newbie tales, and can relate to the trials and tribulations that we all probably had to face in those first few days of playing WoW without any form of guidance. I was there, Alpha Team represent, didn't have a fucking clue. Every quest seemed like it was leading to a big boss. Wonderful! Love the newbie stories. Love the newbie stories. Absolutely love the newbie stories. Absolutely love them. Mythic, yeah, still playing to this day. I don't understand what you're on about. Oh, you think he means just during Wrath. No, he said every tier since. But still, it's nice to see the fake guys are all hungry at the bit to jump all over it. He said, do you know what I mean? I appreciate you guys really trying to spot holes. It must be a fun part of the show for you, I guess. But yeah, he said every tier afterwards. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of Drama Friday. And, yeah, no stream this weekend. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll tweet. I'm on the tweet machine. Tweet me. But certainly, you have 1 week left. 1 week left to get your transmogs in. 1 week left. Send it to preachgaming@gmail.com. Put the subject as XMOG. 4 letters. XMOG. That's it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to find you guys. I've got fucking so many. It's ridiculous. I'm going to have to sort of sift through them and see what happens there. But the transmog competition will be at the web show. That is 8 days from now. 8 days! That's it. That's all you've got left. So get them sent in. Alright, guys? I've seen so many of you sending them during the show. So for those email noises that went off, that's what they were. There's a video going up tonight about the about Legion and raiding and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be pretty good. Going to be pretty good. Alright, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you again in maybe in a little while. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I might stream. I want to finish Scribblenauts because we had so much fun doing it. I do. I move on to other games. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll tweet. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again. Bye-bye.